welcome to this Battle for Delhi special. It's the countdown for one of the most eagerly watched elections in a long time. On the 4th of December, that's next Wednesday, Delhi goes to the polls. And it's an election that could well set the pace for the urban voter. We're taking your questions through this week to the newsmakers who matter. And who bigger in Delhi than the Chief Minister of Delhi, three-time Chief Minister aiming for a fourth term. Can Sheila Dikshit wrest power for a fourth term? She is your guest today, and this is your show because you can give your answers. Just remember, you can log on to ibnlive.com, send your questions with an Ask Sheila Dikshit hashtag. Appreciate your joining us, Ms. Dikshit. My first question to you, which is coming from Ritesh Anand. She says, after ruling 15 years in Delhi, why is Delhi so unsafe for women? Can't even blame opposition for this. Why should we trust you? That's the question Ritesh is posing to you, ma'am.
You've asked a very difficult question, who to trust. I must admit that there's an atmosphere where people do not feel safe enough. It has to be corrected. It is being done. We have a helpline for women in distress in the Chief Minister's Office 181, which is used round the clock, very, very frequent, so that people are able to reach out to them. Apart from that, we have these fast-track courts, which were put by our government, and we further are in constant touch with the police so that they are able to, update all their systems of access.
Ma'am, that is not having an impact on the ground because till October 15 this year, Delhi recorded 1,330 rape incidents, which are almost double compared to last year. Particularly when it comes to molestation, it's gone up to nearly 4 times in the same period. These stark facts have been revealed in the Supreme Court. Something somewhere has made Delhi unsafe for women. It's not just the Delhi Braveheart case, but a general perception that Delhi is unsafe. Because the next question I have, ma'am, is from Bharat Bachao, who says, ask Sheila Dikshit, can she walk with her daughter on the streets of Delhi after 10 p.m. without fear or security?
Right. I wouldn't walk with her because I don't have to. But my daughter is big enough so she travels by herself. But my granddaughter, I always tell her, beta, इस वक्त मत जाना, ऐसी गली में मत जाना, अकेले मत जाना, किसी साथी को साथ लेके जाना. These are normal things which all mothers and parents tell their children.
Ma'am, but more than that, how do you explain these figures? It almost seems that for all the steps undertaken, are you going to give me the usual argument that Delhi police is not under you? Why blame me? And you're not going to take responsibility because out there you are the face for the people as Chief Minister.
No, I am not irresponsible. I am not passing the buck. I do feel this needs very urgent attention. It's going to take a while because things have really gone, kind of out of hand. Whoever has done it, whether it's society or whatever it is, the culture and all, we need to put it right. And all that I can say, with all my might and all the manner in which I can help make Delhi a safer city, I will do it.
I'm getting a question on video, ma'am, for you. Let's take that question because it's also, I'm told, on women's safety. Let's listen in.
Ma'am, if you come back to power, we just want to know how would you improve the law and order situation in Delhi?
शीला दीक्षित जी क्या कर सकती हैं दिल्ली की औरतों के लिए जो बिल्कुल सेफ रहें और उन्हें कोई इसी तरह की प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो?
I would like to ask Mrs. Dikshit about what more can we do about women's safety because that is an issue which concerns all of us.
Ma'am, if there was one thing, if there was one thing you would do if you are elected 4th time to ensure that there is greater safety for women, what would that be?
My one thing would be to have a approach that is of respect for girls, respect for our women, respect. We are doing that. We have an organization, a movement called Awaaz Uthao. अब वो चल रही है, काफ़ी दिन से चल रही है, 6-8 महीने से, लेकिन इन सब चीज़ों का इम्पैक्ट होने में थोड़ा समय लगता है. मैं इतना ही आप सबसे कह सकती हूँ that I am a woman, I have a daughter, I have 2 granddaughters, I have nieces, nephews, all your children, they're my children. I feel equally distressed and hurt that there is this feeling that Delhi is not a safe city.
Ma'am, I'm coming to the next question. It's coming from Abdullah Madhumule, and he says, I believe you have done a wonderful job in the last 15 years, but how will you mitigate the perception that your government is corrupt?
That's a nice. Where is the corruption, I'd like to know. I have to mitigate this because it's been going on and on without any rhyme or reason. So I have taken this opportunity now near the elections. I've been saying it all along, but nobody wants to believe it because there are some people who go on saying there's corruption. Where is it? Show it to me. We'll do it. We'll take action. The other thing is, those people who took up jharus and said we are fighting against corruption are today considered corrupt themselves. They've been caught in corruption. So, why is everybody just going on putting out a word corruption?
Ma'am, it's not just everybody. It's not just, ma'am, sorry to interrupt. It's not just everybody.
I'm saying about
the
my
Delhi
government.
Lok Ayukt had passed a verdict against your government. In the CWG scam, there were questions raised. Yeah, go ahead.
No. There were questions raised. They were answered. There was no corruption found where the Delhi government is concerned. Please get that very clearly. And I'd like to tell your viewer, the gentleman who has asked this question, please believe me. If anybody is able to tell us that this is where you were corrupt, we shall take correction. I shall do it myself. There's no point just everybody saying corruption without even thinking.
Ma'am, in May, ma'am, just a minute. Ma'am, in May 2013, you were indicted in a corruption case relating to misuse of power and public money during campaigning in the 2008 assembly elections by no less than the Delhi Lok Ayukt.
That was totally, no. Radhiji, that was totally wrong. You know that was thrown out in 2008, even today. If there's one party which abides by the code of conduct and also by the directions of the Election Commission, it is the Congress party. We just don't do anything. I am very aware of the fact that 2 months before, no, please, I must clear this. I don't know why these rumors are being spread.
Ma'am, the reason I'm going to, and the next questions are coming because this has become a big issue in Delhi. Harshdeep writes, who is responsible for rampant corruption in your government? As a state head, do you take responsibility? And then I have another question from Utkar Shukla who says, as per CAG, active involvement of the Chief Minister Delhi in the CWG scam has been found. Why don't you take responsibility of the CWG scam? I think he's referring to the fact that potted plants, in the case of potted plants and in the case of street lighting, the CAG did pass strictures against your government.
It did not pass any strictures, it just questioned that there were plants were put there to beautify Delhi. But the security people said no, those plants are being used. They came as a legacy to Delhi.
At the cost of 24 crores.
Good street. Please remember one thing. You beautify Delhi, you don't beautify Delhi, you get it either way. Gave me the corruption. The CAG passed a remark, whatever it was, we answered it. Why this was done, why good lights were put. They were Delhi's legacy. Nobody's taken them home. Please remember that. And also, that the CWG was a turning point for the development in Delhi. What would have taken years or decades happened because there was a target which was set.
Ma'am,
I think we should all be happy.
There was also the darker side.
Remember.
There was also a darker side.
No, Rajdeep, I'm terribly sorry. Rajdeep, I'm terribly sorry. All that you all are looking for is corruption. Is there nothing else that's happening?
Can I just get one final word on that corruption issue from you so that you can set the record straight once and for all? Are you saying that your MLAs and ministers were not corrupt and they've not made money? All that, if I look at their asset sheet, their assets have grown quadrupled. Their assets of your ministers and MLAs have quadrupled in 5 years.
Please remember one thing.
Yes.
If there was a question mark on how their assets, they can't be said that your assets should not increase. If they have, go and send somebody, tell somebody to rate them. You're welcome. There are ways of finding out. But just to say because from X amount I have become X amount, I must be corrupt. That is wrong, Rajdeep. Everybody's income goes up. Is that a sin?
Well, it's interesting that MLAs and ministers, their income goes up a little bit more than the average citizen. But let me come to a video question that is now coming to you on inflation, which is the other big issue. Let's listen into what people are saying on the other big issue confronting your government.
मैं दिल्ली सरकार शीला दीक्षित से पूछना चाहता हूं कि यदि उसकी दोबारा सरकार आई, क्या वो महंगाई कम कर पाएगी? क्या वो ये सीवर लाइन का कार्य कर पाएगी? क्या वो आम आदमी की पुकार सुन पाएगी या भ्रष्टाचार दूर कर पाएगी?
मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है शीला दीक्षित से कि वो अगर आगे सत्ता में आती हैं तो वो महंगाई को कैसे कंट्रोल करेंगी?
Ma'am, you know, inflation, many believe more than corruption, what could destroy and bring down your government after 15 years is inflation. You keep promising prices will come down, they're still very high.
Rajdeep ji, I would like to place my objection to your using the word corruption again and again.
Okay.
Please, I have given an open invitation, send me the corruption.
Okay.
We will inquire into that. Please.
Okay.
So don't make it out as though we are a corrupt government, which we are not.
Inflation?
Now, inflation is there all through the country. Remember, Delhi is not an agriculture producing state, it is an importing state. Whenever prices have risen, whether it's of dal, of roti, of chawal or wheat or potatoes and onions, this government has intervened. We always intervene to stabilize the prices so that if they become 90 rupees, they at least come down to 80 or something. And there has been this rise of prices everywhere. I'm sorry, I'm also a housewife. It pinches me just as much as it pinches everybody. Now, आपने एक और सवाल पूछा था कि आम आदमी की आवाज। अगर जो कोई ये कह दे कि हमारे घर में या मेरे घर में या किसी के घर में गया हो, उसको नहीं मिली हूं मैं, तब मैं आपको से कबूल करूंगी। We are the most accessible government. I meet people from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock every morning except Sundays, which I take off. बाकी सब और सबकी सुनवाई करते हैं। बहुत सारों की चीजें समस्याएं हल होती है, बहुत सारी नहीं हो पाती।
Right. I presume that on Sundays you watch that one Hindi film that you always like to watch. But let me turn to the next question, which is coming in from Sanjeev Jha. He says, will Sheila Dikshit reduce the electricity bill? If yes, then how? If not, then why not? The reason I think this is being asked is because the BJP says they will reduce power bill by 30%. Aam Aadmi Party says it will reduce by 50%.
बीजेपी और आम आदमी क्या करेंगे मैं नहीं कहना चाहती हूँ, मैं आपसे स्पष्ट करना चाहती हूँ that the cost of purchase of power, and we get it from the national grid, is risen by about 300%. Prices of power have risen by 65%. Please remember, we have the lowest power rates all over, whether it's Calcutta or whether it's Ahmedabad or whatever, also around Haryana and Noida. Secondly, those people who are unable to pay these high costs, we give them a subsidy of 1 rupee 20 paisa per first 200 units, and then from 200 units to 400 units, 80 paisa per unit. Tell me any other government which is so sensitive. All that I can say is, if they come to power, they will know the economics. Right now it's so easy in opposition to flash off anything, try. But I do hope the people of Delhi will not be befooled. Please remember, we have given you 24 hours power.
You've given 24 hours power, but many people believe there are inflated bills. You're saying that the bills are not inflated. Am I correct?
No, they are not inflated. They are recorded. They come on the meter. If there's a problem with the meter, you can always go to the the Delhi Electricity Regulatory Committee, put your listing there, and they are corrected.
Ma'am, the next question is coming from MSSHZZ is how they say it on Twitter, but she asks, and it's an important question because I travel by this every day. Why after so many years of ignoring the pain of public, are you suddenly promising the removal of the BRT? Do you admit, ma'am, today that the BRT was a big mistake? Look at Ahmedabad. No, Narendra Modi has successfully got the BRT there in Gujarat. In Delhi, we have failed.
I took this decision that we will not have another BRT because we had identified other areas for the BRT. But we kept it on hold because it was not working successfully in Delhi.
Yes.
Now, I think, having admitted something, but to go on saying that it is good when I know it is not good, that is why we are not making any more BRTs. And if time permits and if we come into power, we will put it right and see what we can do to improve it, because we need the cooperation of all those who drive on the BRT to adhere to certain rules.
Are you admitting
Now,
you made a
that
mistake?
has not happened.
Are you admitting you made a mistake?
Yes, I am.
You
yes.
are?
Yes. I tried something which was considered so good all over the world. I mean, not all over the world, but in Northern America, South American countries.
Yes.
In the northern part. But it's a mistake, and I think admitting a mistake is not an error. It's not a fault.
Shekhar Bansal asked, ma'am, what's your plan to tackle Bangladeshis living in the capital illegally? Now, this has become an election issue in some parts of Delhi. The fact is they say fake ID cards have been given, fake election cards, as many as 15 lakhs, according to one figure. Is this a Congress ploy, a vote bank of the Congress, which is why you're not acting?
No. It's something that happened very many decades ago. And what has to be stopped is Bangladeshis coming into India. When they come into India, they find Delhi, they find Bangalore, they find Calcutta, the most comfortable places for them to get jobs into. Now, it's a problem that when we came into power in 1998, we faced it. We told everybody, at that time the BJP kept absolutely quiet, that it's all right, but many people come into Delhi. I can't say that I have a power to stop them from coming. Once having come into India, they can come in Delhi also.
Would you have you encouraged them? Has your party actively encouraged them because you see them as a vote bank?
Certainly not. Certainly not. I deny this most emphatically.
Okay.
They come here. Look, certainly not. Are we going to write to Bangladesh or go across the border and try and get them? Any political party will do that. Please, don't be so naive.
Okay. Let me come to the next question. It's come from Murugananthan C. He says, do you think Congress will get a majority in Delhi? If a hung assembly happens, are you willing to have an alliance with AAP? Aam Aadmi Party, are you willing to ally with them in case of a hung assembly?
I'm not thinking of a hung assembly because I have faith in the people that whoever they give the mandate to, it will be a clear mandate. But if we come to that, we'll think about it there.
So you're not
right
ruling it
now,
out?
We are working
so
for
you're
a
not
win.
ruling it out?
We are I'm not ruling it out, I'm not ruling it in. Depends. And also I'll tell you, we are going with confidence to win this election.
I know you're saying that at the moment, and all politicians say that, but Dr. Sasi Attili has your next question to you, ma'am. If you lose to Arvind Kejriwal from New Delhi, but Congress gets a majority, will you still lead your party? Will you still be the chief minister?
If I'm not an MLA, how can I be a chief minister?
Okay, simple answer to the question given there by you. But ma'am, are you worried to put it, because the next question which is coming is from Amex, and he says, Sheila Dikshit, ma'am, what happens to the challenge given by Arvind Kejriwal for debate in an open US-like election, an open debate US style? Are you worried about Arvind Kejriwal? Why weren't you willing to have a debate with Arvind Kejriwal?
I am not worried about Arvind Kejriwal. I certainly am disappointed with him. The man who put up a so-called political party and said that he would root out corruption, gave himself a self-certificate of being the best. Everybody knows what Anna Hazare has written to him. Everybody knows the sting operation. So,
there are those who are saying Arvind Kejriwal has hit back by saying this sting operation which you talk about was Congress sponsored.
He has also said that it is BJP sponsored. When somebody gets a sting operation, they find excuses that it is sponsored by somebody. Please believe me, yes, our party does not indulge in these kind of things, and least of all the Delhi Congress.
Can I though ask you, ma'am, that why didn't you agree to that open debate offer? If you had nothing to hide, and if you believed that your record was good enough, why not? We had made that offer to you also, if you remember.
You made an offer, and
yes,
I told everybody, I said, what is going to be the format? The kind of debates that I have heard, I have not seen them, I must admit that.
Yes.
I have not seen any of them, that they were not up, well, they were not what they should have been. So I've come to you, I went to ABVP, I go everywhere.
Yes.
But please give me a choice. After all, I am a citizen also who can choose, just like you can choose.
Can I ask you this question, which is coming now from Hardik Vyas, who says, whom do you find as a successor in Delhi in your own party? Is there someone, for the last 15 years, you've dominated Delhi politics. Is there someone you see as a potential successor, ma'am, to Sheila Dikshit?
I came to Delhi in 1998. Nobody ever thought that I would be the chief minister. Nobody ever thought I'll be the second time, the third time. Today, if and when I go out of this whole thing, somebody will come up. There's plenty of talent amongst our MLAs. Somebody will come up. Certainly they will. I have no doubts about that.
Question coming in also, ma'am, which I want to ask you, which is that Sheila Dikshit, you've had a 15-year reign, which is a long time in politics. Do you believe that you're suffering today from double anti-incumbency? There's anti-incumbency against you, and there is anti-incumbency, many believe, against the central government. So you're suffering from a double whammy because Delhi is where your central government is located, which has had many corruption allegations against it, which has had allegations of inefficiency, of sloth. Are you suffering from double anti-incumbency?
Please remember that the citizens of Delhi are very clear about their politics. They know that the election on the 4th of December is for the Delhi Assembly. It's not a parliament election. When the parliament election comes, they are wise enough to differentiate. Another thing which you asked me was, I am not suffering in Delhi from anti-incumbency. In fact, I think we are suffering from pro-incumbency.
Why are then the opinion polls at the moment suggesting that the BJP is the party to beat in Delhi and not Sheila Dikshit this time?
Rajdeep ji, I have no comments to make on opinion polls, how they are conducted, what goes behind them, what is the basis, is something which is questionable. So I don't know. I go to the people and I wait for the 5th of December and then wait for the 8th of December. The results will be all out in front of you.
I've just got one question coming in from someone on Twitter, Mr. Patel, who asked me, can you ask Sheila Dikshit, if she lose, because you asked this to Arvind Kejriwal yesterday, if you lose the elections, ma'am, is it retirement for you? Are you planning to retire from politics if you lose the elections?
Let's come to this if we lose.
In that last little statement of yours, am I seeing in that smile of yours a quiet confidence that despite all the polls, despite reports of anti-incumbency, despite the so-called fatigue factor, high inflation, charges of corruption which you've denied today, Sheila Dikshit still believes that she is the best person to lead Delhi? So give me that one reason why you believe you are the best person to lead Delhi. One reason.
I don't believe I'm the best person. It's for the people to choose who, according to them, is the best.
But what is that one reason that you believe people should go on that day and vote for you and not for Arvind Kejriwal or Harshvardhan?
Well, I think we have a track record to show. We have an admission by everybody who either comes to Delhi or lives in Delhi that the past 15 years have made Delhi the #1 small state in the country.
I appreciate your joining us, Sheila Dikshit. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. But you know, as you've been speaking to us, there's also been an incident in Delhi where Vijay Jolly of the Delhi BJP has vandalized the house of Shoma Chaudhary, a Tehelka managing editor. Do you want to tell Mr. Vijay Jolly something? Do you have a response to him?
No, I don't want to tell him anything except that I feel that law should not be taken into anybody's hand.
Okay. Sheila Dikshit, as always, a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.